Definition. The word polymer has a Greek origin where the poly means many and mers means units. So the polymer is defined as a chemical substance of a high molecular mass formed by the combination of a large number of simple molecules called monomers. By the definition, polymer is a molecule which is having a high molecular weight and it is made by the repeating of many small units. Like here, if A is a monomer, then A, and so on is a polymeric chain. And monomer is the small unit. Clear? So here you can see the different examples of monomer and respective polymers. Like ethylene is a small monomeric unit which is having a double bond, and when many units of ethylene attach together it will give a polymer which is known as polyethylene. Similarly, propylene is also a monomer, and when many units of propylene attach together, it will give a polymer which is known as polypropylene. The process of attachment of this monomer, due to which the polymer is formed, is known as polymerization. Means the polymerization is a process of formation of polymer by the monomers. Degree of polymerization. The number of repeating units in a polymer chain is known as degree of polymerization. Degree of polymerization is represented as dPn or xn. Mathematically, dP is equals to mn upon m0, where mn is the number average molecular weight of polymer and m0 is molecular weight of the monomeric unit. Like example given here, the three ethylene units polymerize together and forms CH2 whole thrice polyethylene polymer. Here 3 is the degree of polymerization for the polyethylene. Functionality of a monomer. The functionality of monomer is the number of binding sites present in a monomer. Like here you can see CH3COOH. This is having a functional group COOH. So the functionality is only one. Another example is HOCH2CH2OH. Here you can see that there are two functional groups are present, OH on both sides. So functionality is equals to 2. Any monomer is having different number of functionality. To form a polymer, the functionality should be at least 2 so that each monomer can be bind on both sides. Here another two examples are given. Both are examples of amino acids. In first example, glycine is having two binding sites, or you can say two functionality, which are shown by the boxes OHC double bond O and NH2. These two are functional groups, or the functionality of glycine is 2. If the functionality is 2, this type of monomers are able to form linear chain polymers only. But as given in example 2, which is serine, serine is also an amino acid. This amino acid is having three functional groups, OH, NH2 and C double bond O, OH. So here you can see there are three functional groups, and this type of monomers are able to form the cross-linked chain polymers. Two functional groups are used to form a linear chain, and the third one is used to form the cross-link between the different chains. So functionality is basically the number of binding site or the number of functional groups present in a monomer. Classification of the polymers. Polymers can be classified on different bases. Like polymers can be classified on the base of source, on the base of structure, on the base of polymerization method, or on the basis of molecular forces. First, we will discuss the classification on the basis of the source of availability. On the basis of source, the polymers can be divided into three types: natural polymer, synthetic polymer, and semi-synthetic polymer. Natural polymers are naturally occurring polymers, and these are obtained from the natural sources such as plant or animals. There are lots of examples of natural polymers like cellulose, starch, or cotton, you can say rubber, etc. Synthetic polymers are polymers which are totally prepared by synthetic methods in the laboratory. For example, Teflon, nylon 66, synthetic rubber, etc. A third class is semi-synthetic polymers. As the name suggests, semi-synthetic means some origin is natural and some is synthetic. In semi-synthetic polymers, mostly the polymer origin is natural, but these natural polymers are synthetically derived, like some groups are added by the chemical methods. For example, rayon. Rayon is made from the cellulose by adding acetate group into it. So acetate group is added synthetically. Another example is cellulose nitrate. Classification of polymers on the basis of structure. On the basis of structure, the polymers can be classified into three types: linear polymers, branched polymers, and cross-linked polymers or network polymers. In case of linear polymers, the monomeric units are linked together to form a long linear chains. These linear chains are closely packed together because there is no branching, so they can attach very closely with each other. The close packing results in a high densities and also a high tensile strength, high melting point, and high boiling points of the resulting polymers. For example, high density polythene, nylons, polystyrenes, all are linear polymers. In case of branched chain polymers, the polymers which are having different chains and the monomeric units are linked together, but they are also having branchings in the main chain. So these branchings create a distance between the two polymeric chains, and due to which the different polymeric chains cannot closely packed with each other. These type of polymers are very low density polymers, and they also have low tensile strength as well as low melting points and boiling points. Some common examples of branched chain polymers are low density polythene, which is also known as LDPE very commonly, starch and glycogen, etc. The third one is cross-linked polymers or network polymers. In this type of polymers, the monomeric units are linked together to form three-dimensional structure, and these type of polymers are, although having a low density, but are very hard and rigid in nature. At the same time, they are also very brittle. For example, bakelite, glyptal, melamine formaldehyde resin, etc. Classification of the polymers on the basis of molecular forces. On the basis of molecular forces, the polymers can be classified into four types: elastomer, fibers, thermoplastics, and thermosetting plastics. Elastomers, as the name suggests, elastic. These type of polymers can be stretched. When we apply a force, we can stretch the polymer, and after removing the force, the polymer attain its original position. The Binding force between the chains is very weak so that the chains can slide over each other. Some crosslinks are available there so that after removing the force, the chains came back to its original position. Most common example of elastomer is rubber family, in which natural rubber, Buna S, Buna N are the most common types of rubbers. Sometimes these rubbers are vulcanized to give more strength. The second class is fiber. Fibers are thread-like polymers and these threads can be woven into the fabric. These are widely used for making clothes, net, rope, gauzes, etc. Fibers possess a very high tensile strength because the chains possess strong intermolecular hydrogen bonds. The fibers are crystalline in nature and have a very sharp melting point, like nylon 6,6 terylene polyacrylonitriles are most common examples of fiber, and these we can melt these polymers very sharply. Next is thermoplastic. Thermoplastics are polymers which can be melted and can be molded easily. These are linear polymers and have very weak van der Waals forces. The forces are intermediate between the elastomer and fibers. When heated, these type of polymers easily melt into the fluid and after cooling it again set into the hard mass. Most common example is polyethylene and polystyrene. The fourth one is thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting plastics are normally semi-fluid substances with low molecular masses, but after heating they become hard and infusible due to formation of lots of cross-linking between the polymer chain. These type of polymers are having low density but are very tough and very strong. Mostly these type of plastics are used to form switches, cooker handle, etc. The most common examples of thermosetting plastics are bakelite, melamine, formaldehyde resin, urea formaldehyde resin, etc. Classification of polymers on the basis of polymerization method. On the basis of method of polymerization, the polymers can be divided into two types, addition polymer and condensation polymer. Addition polymers are made by addition of monomeric units. Means when the monomeric units are joined together, there is no formation of any other byproduct takes place. These addition polymers can further be divided into two types, homopolymer and copolymer. In homopolymer, all monomeric units are same, means similar monomeric units are joined together to form a polymeric chain. Like in case of polyethylene, here it is given only ethene monomer is added and it forms a polyethylene chain. So polyethylene is a homopolymer. Whereas in copolymer, the monomeric units are different. In this case, two or more monomeric units are joined together to form a polymeric chain. Here example given, it is butadiene styrene rubber, which is also known as Buna S. In this, a butadiene unit and a styrene unit, means butadiene is one monomer and styrene is another monomer. So here two monomers are present. These two monomers join together alternatively to form butadiene styrene rubber. So in case of copolymer, different type of monomeric units are joined together. In case of homopolymer, only one type of monomeric units join together. Condensation polymers. Condensation polymers are those polymers in which the monomers are combined together with the condensation reaction and small molecules such as water, alcohol, hydrogen chloride, etc. removed as a byproduct. In condensation polymers, the condensation reaction takes place between two similar or different monomeric units. Here example of a condensation polymer nylon 66 is given. Nylon 66 is formed by condensation of hexamethylene diamine with adipic acid. Here the first is hexamethylene diamine and the second one is adipic acid. These two molecules attach together, or you can say condense together, to form a nylon 66 chain with the removal of water. If n number of adipic acid attached with n number of hexamethylene diamine, so it will give a long chain of nylon 66 with the removal of n number of water molecule. Overall, the condensation polymer formed by condensing the monomeric units with the removal of small unit such as water, alcohol, hydrogen chloride, etc. Whereas addition polymers are made by adding monomeric unit together without removal of any small molecule. Tacticity. Tacticity is actually the steric arrangement in the polymers. The polymers are having some pendant groups. Like here you can see the example is given for the polystyrene, and in polystyrene the benzene ring is actually the pendant group. Similarly, if we are taking examples of polyvinyl chloride or polyvinyl alcohol, in that case the chloride group or the alcohol group is act as a pendant group. So the steric arrangement of that particular pendant group is on which side. This determines the tacticity. Here there are three possibilities. Either if all chiral centers have the same configuration. Same configuration means all the pendant groups are on the same side, as you can see in the first diagram. That is for the isotactic arrangement, where all the benzene rings are on the same side of the chiral carbon. The second case is syndiotactic. In this case, the position of the pendant group is alternate for the each chiral carbon. So in the second case you can see the syndiotactic arrangement. The third case is atactic, or it is also known as heterotactic arrangement. In that case, the pendant groups are randomly arranged on both sides of the chiral carbon. The tacticity is also having an impact on the physical properties of the polymers. Next is types of polymerization reactions. Broadly, polymerization reactions can be classified into two categories. The first one is condensation polymerization, which is also known as step growth polymerization, and the second one is addition polymerization, which is also known as chain growth polymerization. We already discussed these two types of polymerization in the classification portion. The addition polymerization is again having four classes. The first one is free radical polymerization, which usually initiate with a free radical. Second is cationic polymerization, which initiate with a cation. Third is anionic polymerization, which initiate with an anion. And the fourth one is coordination polymerization, in which a catalyst is used, which was developed by the Ziegler-Natta, and also the Ziegler-Natta won the Nobel Prize for the development of this catalyst. These four types of polymerization mechanisms are very important, and here we will discuss broadly the polymerization mechanism for the free radical polymerization, cationic polymerization, and anionic polymerization in detail. Mechanism of addition polymerization. In every type of polymerization reaction, whether it is by the free radical or by cationic or by anionic mechanism, there are three common steps. First, chain initiation, second, chain propagation, and third is chain termination. In chain initiation, the chain forming initiates. Here usually an initiator is used, and this initiator will combine with monomer to activate the monomer, means to create an active site in the monomer so that monomer can react further. In second step, which is known as chain propagation means growth of the chain. So here, after initiating the monomer, again and again new and new monomers are going to attach simultaneously into the activated monomer, and the active center is transferred from one monomer to the another monomer, and by this way the chain growth takes place. So this process is known as chain propagation. The third step is chain termination, where the polymerization reaction going to stop. So here the finally, if the chain is formed long enough, then some reactions occur by which the further polymerization terminates. This can be happen by the recombination of two smaller activated monomers, or recombination of two large activated polymeric chain, recombination of one smaller activated monomer with a large activated monomer, or by the disproportionation reactions. So here, in all type of addition polymerization reactions, these three reactions are common. First, chain initiation, then chain propagation, and the chain termination. So first we will discuss free radical polymerization reaction mechanism for the addition polymerization. In free radical polymerization, any initiator which is able to produce free radicals can be used. Some common examples are benzoyl peroxide, potassium peroxide, etc. So here we are taking the example of benzoyl peroxide. Here you can see that if benzoyl peroxide undergoes heat treatment, it will give two free radicals. So by this way it generates the free radical, and this free radical will attach to monomer to start the initiation of the polymerization. In the second image you can see it is the initiation step, and we are taking example of vinyl chloride here. So what happened when a free radical is formed from a peroxide? It will react with the monomer. Here it is reacting with a vinyl chloride unit and giving a new free radical, which is ROCH2CHCl. Means the free radical is get transferred from RO to CH2CHCl, and by this way the monomer is get initiated, and now it is ready to react with another monomer, or another monomer can be attached to it. In third diagram you can see this one is the chain propagation step, and here the initiated monomer is able to attach the another monomer, and by this way n number of monomers can be attached to the chain, and it gives the growth to the chain. The last step is chain termination step. In chain termination step, after the formation of a long chain, it will react with another species. Like we already discussed that there may be an activated radical and an activated chain or growing chain combined together to terminate the reaction. Here there are two free radicals, and when these two free radicals combine together, the CH forms a bond with the OR and the chain get neutralized or the chain get terminated. Similarly, in another way, two different type of such chains can also attach together to terminate the reaction, or it will be react with the initiator to terminate the reaction. Means in any way to terminate the reaction, the free radical should be utilized. Next is cationic mechanism. In the cationic mechanism, the initiator which is commonly used is Lewis acid and water is used as a co-catalyst. In cationic mechanism, the first step is chain initiation, in which the initiator, which is a Lewis acid, is added to the monomer unit, which results the formation of a cation center, which is usually a carbocation in a monomer unit. Here you can see in the cationic chain initiation step of vinyl chloride, a cationic center is created. Here you can see CH3, CH plus, Cl A minus. So this CH plus is a cationic center. Next monomer will come and that can be attached to this cationic center. So in the first step, the carbocation is formed, which initiates the reaction. Second step is chain propagation, in which the different numbers of monomers will come and attach to this carbocation center, and again just like a free radical mechanism, this carbocation center is transferred to the new monomeric unit, and this way the chain growth takes place. The last step is chain termination step, where the chain termination takes place by proton release or by combination with any part of initiator. Like here you can see that the first one is chain, and here from the chain the A is get transferred to the initiator and OH is get attached to the final chain. So by this way the chain reaction terminates and the cationic polymerization reaction complete. Anionic mechanism. In anionic mechanism, the Lewis base is used as initiator. When this Lewis base is added to the monomer, it results the formation of anion center, which is a carbanion in monomer unit. Here you can see that RLI, which is a Lewis base, is used as initiator, and it will react with monomeric unit to create a carboanion at the monomeric unit. Now the monomeric unit is get initiated for the reaction and new monomers can be attached to it. In chain propagation step, new monomer is attached on this carboanion center and the chain growth takes place. Also the carboanion center get transferred to the new monomeric unit. In the last step, which is chain termination step, again just like other two mechanisms, the chain termination takes place by the different way. Here the example is given where it is reacts with CH3OH and OH is get attached to the chain and terminates the reaction, and lithium is attached with the CH3. So by this way the reaction get stopped.